name is Linda Mae McLemore, and I'm going to share with you some technology tools and resources that I have found to support personalized learning within the classroom. Technology is able to connect students to experiences where there may be some limitation. With the right technology resource or tool, you are able as a teacher to differentiate for all of your students. Technology can engage and motivate your students in more ways than you may think. In this video, I will share with you 5 tools, online resources that I have found to support personalized learning. The first one I would like to talk with you about is ReadWorks. ReadWorks.org. I love ReadWorks, and I use it personally in my classroom as well. ReadWorks is one of those tools that, first of all, is free. It's a free online resource, and it's there to support teachers K through 12. The goal is to close the achievement gap, specific in the area of reading comprehension. In ReadWorks, you will find a large variety of nonfiction and literary articles that are differentiated. They offer reading comprehension and vocabulary lessons. You are able to create and manage your classroom. You can manage your assignments and also create and manage some of your assessments. You can assign audio versions of the articles. This can be the question sets and the vocabulary to support your second language learners. You can provide immediate feedback. You can also grade the assignments directly in ReadWork or reassign for students that may have struggled with that article, and after you have met with them and kind of discuss some of the things that they may have missed, you can reassign it and have the students take it again. Some of the strengths that I have found with ReadWorks is you can choose articles specific by a skill or strategy. For example, if you're teaching about main idea within your classroom, you can go directly on ReadWorks. You can find by strategy, so you can look for articles that are specific to main idea. You can then only assign those articles for your students. The audio version, I believe this is probably one of the best things that I have included because I believe that when kids know what something is about, they can actually collaborate and they can talk about it. And so although, you may have some students that are not fluent yet in English, by giving them that audio version to be able to listen to the story, they can actually be a part of class discussions. I like that there's easy grading, especially for the written responses. There are paired texts, so texts that are on the same topic but are on different levels, and you can also choose articles based on Lexile levels. Some of the weaknesses that I have found is that students are not able to choose articles of their choice. Teachers actually have to assign the article, so if you do not assign anything in ReadWorks for your students, once they log on, they will not be able to see any articles unless the teacher has assigned it to them. I also think one of the downside is that you are unable to customize the questions. So if you want to delete a question because you felt like that wasn't a great question for your students, you cannot do that. So once they see a quiz or a assessment on there, they have to take all of the questions. These are some great videos that I found on YouTube, and it just shares with you some of what others are saying specific to ReadWorks. So if you have time, I would love for you to just click on them and hear what others have to say about ReadWorks. The next technology resource I would like to talk to you about is Newsella. Newsella is think about a newspaper for students. It is kid-friendly. It focuses on articles that are relevant. What is going on in today's world that your students want to know. It is great for upper grades. However, they do have articles that are geared to young learners as well. There is differentiation. You can give students access to reading materials on the same content, and they may not be reading on the same level, so they have different levels within a single article. Many of the articles have quizzes, and those quizzes align to the Common Core standards, and so you are making sure your kids are understanding the content, but you're teaching what they should know. Some strength of Newsilla. It engages students while also increasing class collaboration. The vocabulary, it's not just a memorization, they learn it through context. There's a large content that I found and activities for grades 2 through 6, which is really great for our young learners. And there are different levels of articles, but they're the same topic. I said that twice because I think that's a great feature of Newsilla. One of the weaknesses that I have found with Newsilla is that the free version is basic, which means if you want to customize your assignments or access your student work, look at their quiz scores, check their reading levels, how long it took for them to complete a passage, you will have to pay some money. So that is just a downside of using Newsilla. One of the other downsides to using Newsilla is that there is not any feedback on the quizzes. If you look at the quiz that your students did, they do not give them a feedback if they answered a question wrong. So that's just one of the things that I found to be pretty weak when it came with this resource. Again, please check out what people are saying. These are some videos that I've linked. I would love for you to check out what people are saying about Newsilla. The next resource that I want to talk to you about is LearnZillion. This is by far my favorite technology resource to use within the classroom, especially to support blended learning. LearnZillion gives full lesson plans and math instructional videos, close reading articles, instructional videos for ELA and English language arts. One of the things that I love about LearnZillion is that it aligns with Common Core standards. And so you know the videos that they provide are aligning with what you should be teaching your students. I also like the fact that they offer different tasks depending on what the focus is for those videos or lessons, where students can collaborate in pairs or in small group. And then the teacher is actually able to be a facilitator during that time, going in and seeing what students may struggle with. The teacher is not necessarily right there in it, teaching it, but it's more facilitating the learning that is occurring with students naturally because of the task provided in LearnZillion. I really think LearnZillion, there's a flexibility to access the content from different devices. And so you're not limited to only a certain software being on a certain device. They can access it from any device, anywhere. One of the strengths of LearnZillion that I really like is that they're short. These videos can be 3 to 10 minutes, and I think it's something that your kids can maybe watch before you teach a specific concept or skill. This is perfect for blended learning. They can watch this at home, come to school, and already have an understanding, a basic understanding of what it is you're going to teach them in class. Another strength that I see in LearnZillion is that you can assign lessons to specific needs of each student. So based on what your student need, you might have a child struggling learning measurement. And so they may not have gotten it when you taught it. You can then assign them specific videos on what they are struggling in, and they can watch it, and it can kind of help reteach something that they may have missed. And I love that it's free for individual teachers. One of the weaknesses, of course, is that not all of the features available is in the free option. So you would have to check to see if maybe your school or county have invested in that. For my county, they did invest in LearnZillion, so there are lots of different features that I'm able to see that others may not. One of the things I also see is that their guided collaborative task only covers K through 8th grade. And so I'm not exactly sure. I think just for the upper grades, they don't really offer as many for those. And there's a lot more math-focused resources on LearnZillion than ELA, and so I think they're just bigger on math focus. Once again, I definitely like for people to just take a look at what others are saying about these resources and kind of gather what you can from them. So I've linked, again, a few videos that you can watch on your own about LearnZillion and see what people are saying. MobyMax is another great resource that I use mostly for my students as an independent practice for them, and it kind of finds and fixes what they're missing. That is what MobyMax does, and so it's interactive. It uses adaptive and differentiation learning for students K through 8th grade. There's 4 main areas in MobyMax, and so those areas are specific to what the kids need. They use their assessments and measure specific skills. Teachers are then able to assign lessons, monitor their students' progress, and also see the growth. MobyMax goal is to close the learning gap for all their students, and they expect and want their students to catch up. And so if done properly, it is said that MobyMax can help a child catch up to grade level expectation, and so covering within that year, they can actually grow to grades level. And so that's one of the benefits of that. The strengths that I see is that they align directly with Common Core curriculum. It engages and motivates students through games and rewards. It's standard-based assessment, promotes independent learning, and you are easily able to monitor your student growth. It's free for a single teacher, but once again, one of the downsides that I see with MobyMax is there is a cost if you want to see the reports, set progress, or monitor your students effectively. You will find it being $79 for a single teacher license or $499 per year for a school license. It's not that much when I think about it, but when you think of all of the other costs that teachers and schools have to cover, this is just something that may be a downside. Another weakness here for MobyMax is it could be less effective for your early learners when they are focusing a lot on just concepts. So really getting down to the basic. I think it's a little more difficult for that. So it might be a little harder for your younger or early learners to benefit from MobyMax. Again, I have linked some videos. Please check them out. People are saying amazing things about MobyMax. They're also saying some things that, may not work for you. And again, like I said in the beginning of my video, not every tool will work for your classroom. So choose wisely based on your students, your instruction, and what will work for you. The last one that I want to talk about is one that I think just offers practice for your kids. This is IXL.com. This is an online resource for all subjects. The goal is to support the learning through a guided instruction, and it offers rich content. It's relevant and it's rigorous. It allows your students to take ownership of their own learning through self-directed, and so they kind of pace themselves and go through the program. You can receive data to assist your students' progress on the state standards, and because they're aligned with standards, it makes it easier for you to find content and skills for your students to practice with. A strength that I find, or several strengths that I saw with IXL, is it builds confidence. You get immediate feedback, kind of if they get something right, it cheers them on. They have that there. There's an audio support that I saw, which I didn't really think was there, but looking through it, it actually has an audio support for grades pre-K through 2nd, which is awesome, especially for our ELL language learners. It's just really great for them. They're not really reading yet, so that audio part is a benefit. And there's tons of practice modules through all of the content, all of the skill is linked to Common Core. They can get tons of practice at home. Well, some weaknesses that I found in IXL is there's a limited opportunity to apply skills to real-world application. So there are, kind of basic routine, want to see if they understand a concept, understand a skill, but there's not that much real-world application. And unfortunately, there is a membership fee for teachers. It starts after a free trial, so if you have not used IXL before, you can definitely do the free trial, and that will hopefully let you know if you would like to continue membership with them. Again, I've included some links to videos of what people are saying about IXL for you to check out as well. My thoughts on how to use these tools in your classroom. For ReadWise,